How are you doing, everybody? I think this is a bit high, isn't it? Well, I'm gonna have to have it. I'm gonna have to have it like that. Even though I'm low in bottom corner, I'll start talking. So tomorrow, Tuesday, I'll tell you what I'll do. Pull my seat up. I'll pull this forward a bit. That's it. I'm sat up a bit straighter. So yeah, Tuesday tomorrow, we've got a new product to look at, which is it's by Wickamole. And because there's a lot of noise around black mold condensation, and it's not going to go away, so I've been looking at trying to get better products for use inside on as an insulating product. Like, so Wickamole's got I can't even, I forgot what they call it, and it's a thin 4mm like roll, and they're coming to show us how to use it, so that'll be good. I've seen videos of them fitting it, and I want to see it firsthand. It looks similar to Dryflex product, but it's a bit thicker. I think it's 4mm. Dryflex is about 1 or 2mm, but it's got a good U value apparently. So they're going to come and show us everything about it, and just show us what you need to do to fit it. So, like I was saying before, this to do with black mold and condensation, it's just not going to go away. There's a lot of properties that's got to be have walls upgraded, and some's got radiators on, and you can't always put insulated boards on. And I'm always looking for better products. Now, I've seen it advertised in, where do I see it? B&Q's selling it, their product, and it was expensive. So Safeguard used to do a product, and it was a tile, like a foam tile, and the full system. This was years ago, so this is over 7 years ago when I got shown Safeguard's like tile system that had been fetched out, that you plaster over the top of it, and these tiles fitted to a wall, and these tiles were 8mm, and then you skimmed over the top of it, and it had a mesh on it to hold it in place. But I just thought it's still, if you pushed it in, it'd still move. It weren't very hard wearing, but it was mega expensive. It was really, really expensive to install. When you worked out cost of materials, you were looking at around about, with labour, for like a 1, 2, 3, 4, for a 4 metre by 2 metre wall, you're looking at £1,000, and it just weren't feasible. So I'm looking for something that's a bit more better, that's better value. But I did see it for sale in B&Q, and I know B&Q's expensive. And just for a roll of stuff, it was 360 quid for a roller that did 7 meters. So again, I don't know whether it's going to be value for money, but I'm going to get them to come and have a look, for them to fetch it, and me to have a look on a job that we're doing. And it all depends on how easy it is to fit, and whether we can get it like skimmed in a day or stuff like that, because that might add to it if you can get it fitted and then skimmed later that day. So I'm looking forward to seeing their rep. He's going to come down and just show us what's what, I suppose, and hopefully it'll tick all boxes, and we'll be able to buy some. So on a condensation theme, I've just finished an ebook, and I've just sent it to ebook Meccas. So it's a comprehensive guide to black mold and condensation. and it's aimed at tenants for landlords, because all these restrictions that's been fetched in, or all these measures that's been fetched in by the housing ombudsman, means that landlords are going to be held to account. It's more social housing landlords and councils, and I've seen examples of what they say is unacceptable, which is condensation on a window, and they're going to be housing ombudsman is just going to be inundated. As soon as tenants see that, they're going to be inundated with complaints, because everybody gets condensation on the windows. You just can't not, you can't stop getting condensation in condensation season. Even we get it, and if tenants see it, and there's a picture and it says this is not acceptable, if you get this, you make a complaint, there's going to be hundreds of thousands of complaints going in, and ombudsman's just going to be overwhelmed. So I've wrote an ebook. I wrote it yesterday. Well, I wrote it over the weekend, and it's quite comprehensive. It tells tenants complaints procedures, what they should do, because on our Facebook group, Damp Sam, why is my property damp? One of the main questions that we keep getting asking, or it was in condensation season, were pictures of condensation. Landlord's not listening to me. Where do I go from here? And this was to do with social housing as well, and councils. So we've in this ebook, it tells you what to do, who to contact, and I think there's some numbers and stuff like that, and email addresses and everything. And it tells you procedure. It tells you what's acceptable, what's not, and people can read that, and they'll have information at the fingertips. And for a price point, it's pay what you think it's worth. So there's no set price. You'll be able to just go on and pay what you want. So whatever you think value we've given. And then we've got membership coming up on here, membership site for price of a nice cup of coffee and a Percy Turner's pork pie, or a Speedy's pork pie, or even a Albertus one if you can find one of them little mini Melton Mowbray ones. $2.99, and you can make yourself a member, and you can see some reaction videos that other people can't see, that's uncut, and there'll be a few in the library ready to go that you can watch. So hopefully, and then you get like a bit, you'll get me sort of a bit closer access, so we'll answer questions and things, and you'll get videos that other people don't see. So for $2.99 a month, I think it's not bad value. So we're going to keep developing it, making it better and better, and hopefully, you know, our community will get bigger, and it'll get bigger, and we can keep giving more value. We'll give more value to people, and you'll learn more things about dampness, what's acceptable and what's not, and we can keep pointing in the right direction. So that's one of the things that's up and coming. It took a bit of doing, writing this ebook of a weekend. We've got to get a landing page up. So landing page will go out, and then what you'll do is, if you want this ebook, you'll write your email address, send it in. I think that's how you do it. We've got to get all. We've got to sort out all smaller issues. I'm not techie, so this is why I've sent it off to somebody to try and help us with it. And then we've got a course coming up, so I'm trying to get this course up and running, which is going to be a course on express damp proofing system, and we're in final bits and bobs of it. So if anybody's wanted to learn how to install the express damp proofing system and get the first foot on the ladder, which is the preservation industry, which has got a massive shortage of qualified technicians. And if we are going into a recession, you want to be in a specialist industry, um, and it's ideally aimed at plasterers. So plasterers are ideal for learning this system, and then maybe going on and doing a 2-day course at PCA, and and learning more stuff, and then taking it from there. Maybe going on and doing your surveying exams. Um, that's how I started. So yeah, we can try and get people on first leg of that ladder, and sort of help them along the way for earning more money. Because that's what everybody's in for: earning more money and having continuality. Is it continuality? Continuous of work, and that's what you want. So yeah. So as well as, I'm just trying to think what else we've been doing today. I'm just trying to think now. So like I said, we've been working on a job out at Sheffield, and it's a they've got an issue with cold spots on the front wall. We put them a pacifier vent in because they just had an open vent, which were freezing for kids' bedroom. And then we're fitting them some fans on Friday. They've got no standard extractor, so they've not got an extractor in kitchen, and they've not got one in bathroom. So we're going to fit them for them. Once they've got them in, they can get rid of moisture where it's produced at its source, which is just standard, and it's what every house should have. And a continuously running low carbon extractor fan in your bathroom, your kitchen, en suites, and utility rooms, and you've got a chance of having a nice environment in your property if you've got them in them standard places. And most houses that I go to that's got issues just ain't got them. So that's first thing we look at, and that's first thing that we look at putting in before we even think about a PIV unit. They should be in a standard before a PIV unit. Get your extractor fan, 100 mil in your bathroom, 150 mil in your kitchen, low carbon, continuously running. You stand a chance then. So I'm going to leave it at that. It's a short message, and so watch out for as things that's up and coming. So I've done quite a few more reaction videos, which I think you're gonna like. Roger features on a couple, and I've got two belters. There's one guy who does in fact, I've got one, and Safeguard have given him all. They gave him all stuff to do a video. They gave him about £800, but they didn't cost Safeguard it. But they've given him about between £500 and £800 worth of stuff: plaster, damp rods. They give him all a load of stuff, and someone passed me a video, and I thought, well, I'll have a look at it. And yeah, there's quite a few things wrong, and it will all be revealed in the video. And I don't understand why Safeguard are giving people like this, these products. And they gave a guy on Instagram, they gave him a damp meter, and he was putting it on chuffing brickwork, and it just makes it a laughing stock. You know what I mean? It makes it a laughing stock. I know they're influencers, and it probably goes to a lot of people. And why they gave this guy it, I don't know, and he's just using it all wrong. But they've done it again. Now you could say it's an own goal, but it's just advertising for them. So so it ain't really. So you know, this I've done some content on it, and the guy, he did a video, and he's got like quite a few views. So you know, it's win-win for Safeguard, I imagine. Like, but yeah, so it's same product as what I did a video, and I always go on saying that they never give me no. But when Rob Deary rep, he did give me 10 bags of this when this dry zone plaster first come out. He gave me 10 bags to do a video on, and I was grateful of that. So yeah, so I get it. Well, I used to get stuff off them. I think I got a. Oh, I'll tell you what they send out every year. So they send a diary out, a cup, some pens, and cups full with sweets, which is good. Um, but they want to be sending me some fucking free products, don't they, for me to test? So yeah, this guy is about 800, about between 600 and 800 quid worth of materials they gave him, and he probably used about 2 bags, 3 bags, and it didn't need doing. So I don't want to give too much away, but it he said it was rising damp, and it weren't. So it kind of, yeah, it made a mockery, and listen, there's just there's hundreds of videos out there, but I ain't got time to do. I ain't got time to do them all. And I know people think I keep going on doing videos with Roger, but he's, you know, he purports to be some kind of expert, but when he's doing stuff wrong that's in my sector, in preservation industry, I just have to put him right. So you know what I mean. I'm not being vindictive. I'm just trying to put people right, because if people are watching him and he's saying these things that are wrong, they're going to think they're right, and then they're going to do the same. So you know, if I can see that he's doing it wrong, and I mention it, and I might put a few swear words in there as well. But that's all it is, and just pointing people in the right direction. So if I see something that's blatantly wrong, I'll just mention it. Like a couple of last videos that I've done, these people have been fitting dry zone dry rods. So yeah, there's loads. Greg, there's not so much cowboys. I think it's just misdiagnosis. They ain't got the knowledge, and it's because they've not invested in themselves. You know what I mean? There's courses there at PCA. There's a 2-day course, technician's course, one of the best courses in England. It's a rate course. I don't know how much it costs, but you know what I mean. For 2 days, go and just sit in there and learn a bit of stuff. But it's just basic stuff. So they've been fitting these dry rods, and all you do is, and I've done videos on it. So where there's a perpendicular coming down, and where there's one coming up, you drill perpendicular. So it don't matter what spacings are. You drill perpendicular, and then you make sure that they're around about 60 mil apart. But what these have been doing, they must have read 60 mil. They've started at one end, measured 60 mil in, and they're doing middle at brick, not brick itself, but middle at joint at brick. And listen, they will work, but there's a system for doing it. There's a way to do it, and like I said, they're just trying Munich guys as well. I didn't want to get away, but they've given him all this stuff, and he drills damp proof course. He drills it on second course up front floor, and it's like he's definitely, he must have read that it's 150 mil somewhere, and it is. It's 150 mil front floor. Yeah, outside externally to avoid rainwater splashing back, but he's done it inside, and I'm like, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? But it's good content, you know what I mean. So it's good content. So as long as people are making mistakes, there's always somebody for me to comment on. Um, and and if somebody watches it, they can see that that's wrong. They see they've done it wrong, and hopefully it 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 stays in their brain. And when they come to do that work, then they'll do it right. Do you know what I mean? Well, yeah, you've only just started watching them, Greg. There's nearly 900 now on here, so when bank holiday starts, you'll be able to have a marathon. Just stop in and just watch watch them all back to back. Start with ones at the beginning and then do them all from back to back. But yeah, and become a member and all. Sign up. If you sign up, you'll be able to get some uncut videos and stuff, and hopefully we can give some good value out. Because that's what it's all about: making a community, making giving people some content that they can learn from and give value. That's all I've done from beginning, from day one, is try and give value. So whatever I've got up here, um, whether it be correct procedures or common sense, that's like sort of because a lot of manufacturers, they add products in, and some of them, you know, you might not need all system, and as long as if you're guaranteeing that job. I don't really give advice for people to price jobs up. I can't for a legal matter. I can't really do that. So what I do is I tell people how to price them themselves. So basically, you just say how much money you're going to want, how much your materials, how long it's going to take you, how much you want a day. There's just stuff like that. But yeah, so I get all my common sense out, and if you know how moisture affects walls of buildings, it's not about cutting corners, but an example is probably the uh, the dry base liquid that Safeguard said that you've got to paint on wall at bottom now when you're doing a damp proofing system for rising damp. Don't forget, not for everything else. So part of dries. You can paint it on back at skirting. You don't have to paint it on wall floor angle. But this guy who got all stuff, if he takes all fucking parky floor up, it's a lovely parky floor in this house, and he takes all fucking 2 layers up near the corner, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, because parky floor is sat on a mastic asphalt bitumen screed, which is waterproof, and he paints wall and then paints that, and then one thing I'm getting all video away here, but he's painting liquid DPM on, which is black, and it kind of goes like a soft colour. And he's telling everybody, he's saying, well, what you do with this is you paint it this way, horizontal, and you keep painting, and then you get to end, and then you leave it an hour, and then you paint it other way, up and down. And he's got it mixed up with waterproof slurry, like painting basements. So it's just basic stuff. And he's funny for saying, he's not a professional plasterer, but yet when he's skimming, he's saying he's always been taught to go from this side and to do this. So there's some stuff not right. There's some stuff not right. He's saying he's not a professional, but then he's saying woman at house is not. She's still living there, so he's got to put this tent up. But watch out for it. It'll be a couple of weeks, but keep an eye out for it. And hopefully we've done a different system as well. So whereas I've had my phone and I've been like sort of filming screen and then filming me on this app, Duolingo or something, not Duolingo, Duel or Thorn or something. We found a new way of doing it, so we're filming it through Zoom. So we get a Zoom meeting up, so we can record screen, and then we record me, and it's going to be a better sound. So hopefully videos and things that we put out is going to be a bit better quality. So we're always trying to improve, and this is why we set this membership scheme up. Whatever money we get is going to be reinvested, and we can try and get things better for you people on YouTube. So I'm going to just try and wrap this up now. Like I said, I'm sat here waiting for our Sonny coming out at boxing. So I'm going to wrap it up, and what we want you to do is just have a brilliant rest of your day, and we hope you keep supporting us, keep supporting channel, and getting more content. So that's Damn Sam signing off. I hope you enjoyed this. See you next time. Bye bye.